Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another day in our life. I don't know what is going on with my nose. It's very red. Anyway, I am off to my OB office. I am getting my 6-week appointment at 7 weeks and 2 days postpartum after having my third baby. So I was supposed to have my tubes tied whenever I was in the hospital, and that didn't happen. They ended up not being able to get me on the schedule, and so now I'm going in and they're supposed to schedule that, but I think I'm going to end up getting an IUD instead. So I'm bringing you guys along for the process so I can tell you about either getting the IUD or getting my tubes tied. Based off of the title of this video, you probably know which one that we are doing. I'm kind of leaning more towards the IUD now because it's not that getting your tubes tied has like a long recovery or anything like that, but you do have to go in for an operation and a procedure in a hospital, and I am going to be student teaching here in a couple of weeks. So I feel like if I wanted to get my tubes tied, that it's going to cut into my student teaching, and I'm not allowed to take days off. I'm allowed to miss 1 day of student teaching, and I don't want that 1 day to be when I'm getting a surgery and then have to go back in the next day just in case there's issues with it. So I think that we're probably going to have to get the IUD, and then maybe if I want to get my tubes tied after I'm done with student teaching, then we can do that. But that also leaves a possibility open that if for some reason we do want to have a fourth, that we can also still have a fourth because I can just remove the IUD. I always wanted 4 kids. Danny is like totally done. I always wanted 4, but I don't think that my body could handle a fourth, but I do want to adopt also. So we might end up with 4 kids someday. I just don't know if it's going to be our biological kids or if we're going to adopt. Maybe we'll have a 4th biological kid and we'll adopt a 5th kid. I don't know, but that is what's happening. So let's go ahead and go to the OB.
When you're ready.
Hi, could I have 2 of the Fiesta potato burritos with no pico?
Okay.
And a large Dr. Pepper.
Anything else?
That is it.
Is everything on your screen, correct?
I think so.
And would you like to donate 55 cents, making your total even $5 to the Children's Education Scholarship Program?
Sure. Have to do my typical Taco Bell run whenever I go into the doctor's office because I always do this. Well, guys, it didn't actually take us 50,000 years to get through the Taco Bell drive-thru today, so that is good. Good job, Taco Bell. You get a gold star for today. Now let's go see the OBGYN. Alright guys, so I'm home now, and if you hear noise in the background, I'm pumping because Everly ate a bottle while I was out with, like, Danny was here with them, and she drank from a bottle, and I'm starting to hurt, so I am pumping. But anyway, so the IUD thing, I had no idea how this whole thing ended up working. So basically, I'll go over everything again. I was supposed to have my tubes tied in the hospital on Monday whenever it was the day that I was leaving the hospital. I was supposed to have it done. I didn't sign the paperwork and stuff in time. I guess you're supposed to like have a 30-day notice or something like that, at least at my hospital. Like you're supposed to already have like all of that like in the works, and I didn't decide to do it until I was basically in labor, and I was like, this sucks, I'm getting my tubes tied. And so at that point it was too late. They weren't able to get me on the schedule. The doctor that was supposed to be performing the surgery was just too busy. His schedule was too packed, and they couldn't get me in. And if they could have got me in, it could have been really late at night, and then I would have had to stay an extra day in the hospital, which my insurance didn't want to pay for, and it was like this whole mess. So I said, okay. The other doctor that I've been working with this whole time, the one that wasn't doing the surgery, was like, just come back and we'll schedule it at your 6-week appointment and we'll get it all sorted out there. So we ended up having to change my appointment because the doctor wasn't going to be in the office the day that they scheduled it, which ended up pushing me back a week and a half to have my 6-week appointment, even though I'm like 7.5 weeks now. Then in order to schedule that, I would have to schedule the surgery, and it's, you know, I'd have to put on the schedule for a couple weeks out, which is going to cut into the school year, and I'm teaching. So I'm not allowed to miss any days because it's student teaching. So it's, you know, with my school, I'm working on my master's degree. I'm allowed to miss one day. And that one day, like, I want to make sure if I'm sick or if my kids are sick or whatever, that I have that one day. Not that I'm recovering from surgery, like that I'm going in on a Monday and then recovering from surgery and having to teach through the week and stuff. I didn't want to do that. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get the IUD, which is what I was trying to do now. I didn't know anything about the IUD, so somebody out there might be watching this thinking I'm an idiot, but maybe somebody out there, this will help you. I didn't know, first of all, for my insurance, that I actually have to call my insurance and request it and get paperwork pushed through to get the IUD ordered. Like the doctor's office doesn't just have them there. Like I didn't know that. I thought that was just something like, oh, they've got an IUD, they'll just put it in and be done. They don't carry them at the doctor's office. I have to call my insurance, have an order form and an insurance form filled out to give to the doctor's office so that they can process the order to get the IUD in. And then I have to wait until I have my first period, and I have to come in while I'm bleeding to have it inserted. This is for the Marina IUD. I don't know about like the rest of them, like the copper, or if you're getting like the any of like the circular implants or anything like that. I don't know how those work, but this is for the Marina. So I couldn't even get the IUD today. I thought I could just like say, hey, I want the IUD, and they just like put it in, just kind of like how you get the pill. They just prescribe it and you go pick it up. I didn't know that you had to wait until you have your first period. I didn't know that you had to have it like ordered and that they don't have them in stock. Like that blew my mind. I was like, okay, that's so weird. So now I have to call my insurance company and get all of that set up and then come back in after I have my period, but I'm breastfeeding and that delays things, so like I don't even know when that's going to happen. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to take any chances because I've literally just had 3 back-to-back kids. Like, you know, I've got 3 kids under 3 right now. Like, I don't want to have 4 kids under 4. That would just be insane right now. I can't go through the school year with that. Like, I can't deal with it. I'm going to be working 80 hours a week. I can't deal with being pregnant and 3 kids and working 80 hours a week for a year. I just can't do it. So I said, can you prescribe me the pill, and I'll just pick the pill up, and then whenever I get my period back, then we'll do the IUD. I'll call the insurance, we'll get the IUD ordered, we'll have it ready to go for whenever I have my period, and then I'll come in and we'll get it done. So he's like, yeah, that's fine, we'll prescribe you that. And now that's hard enough as is because there's only like 1 or 2 options that I can take because I have high blood pressure, I'm breastfeeding, and I have allergies. So it either affects one of those 3 things. So there's only like 1 or 2 that I can be put on, which causes migraines. So that's why I didn't want to get the pill in the first place, because it causes me to have my chronic migraines, and I can't take my migraine preventatives while I'm breastfeeding. Crazy stuff. Okay. Anyway, I go to the pharmacy. The pharmacy is out. They're not getting them in until a couple days. So I'm like, okay, great. So now I've got to like postpone that. I'm like, can you call the other pharmacies around town? This pharmacy didn't have it, that pharmacy didn't have it, that pharmacy didn't have it. Like, all of the pharmacies were out of stock of the only birth control pill that I can have. Cool. That's awesome. Then they found one that has it in stock, and I actually just got the confirmation that it was filled, so thank goodness. They found the one that is in stock, like 1 pack left kind of thing. Like, I'm getting the last one. So we're hoping that I will take this. Sorry, I don't mean to keep moving this around, but it's hurting my hand. I'm hoping that we take this 1 cycle of it, and then maybe when I'm done with that pack, that the progesterone from the pill and, like, you know, the way that the pill works and everything will induce a period so that I can go get the IUD. And then we're going to go through the school year. And now for me, I'm done teaching in December. So by Christmas, if I'm ready to get my tubes tied, then we're going to go ahead and do that. Or I guess if I decide that for whatever reason I want to have another baby, then I'll just leave the IUD in and we'll keep going from there or get it removed. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to stop taking birth control, but we just have to figure out if I want to leave the IUD in. Like, if I like the IUD and I don't feel like getting the surgery, then I'll leave it in. If I just want to get my tubes tied and be done with it, then I'll do that. And then after I get my tubes tied, I want to get a uterine ablation done, which is where they basically burn off the lining of your uterus, and then it either you don't get a period or it's just very, very light. And I have extremely heavy periods, so yeah, we'll see. But that is essentially what is happening there. And this is getting really long, so I'm not gonna put a whole lot more in this until later this evening. It is band camp week with the guard that you see me coach, and I haven't been coaching because of the kids, and like nobody wants to watch your 3 kids under 3, so you can go and leave your house and do anything. So I haven't been going anywhere, but Danny is off now, and we're going to take all 3 girls there. There's a playground, so they're gonna play on the playground, and I'm gonna hang out with the band for a little bit. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So I'll put in some clips of all of that here at the end.
Is this fun, Kaylee?
You gotta get her to go up this slide again. That slide was the epic K slide right there.
Oh yeah? Is this fun? So this is band camp. So this is what we decided to do. So the baby's up there with our staff being loved on. And we're at band camp. I just came down to get the kids some water because it's like 90 degrees out. But we're here. And Danny's at the park playing with them. Sweet, wow! Kaylee, do you want to go over to the alligator slide?
This is the one though, Danny, this one.
Oh, this one? Wow!
Your kid's gonna come. You wanna
Come on,
walk with
KK.
Dad?
Let's go over here. See Maddie? Let's go this way. Let's go this way.
Fight your fears.